In this video, I'm going to teach you how to do a conventional deadlift using a kettlebell. This is a fantastic exercise for strengthening all of your back, your bum, and coping with the physical demands of everyday life. Every mum and dad should learn how to deadlift correctly and then try to get really, really strong in the deadlift. In my opinion, it's potentially the best exercise out there for mums. It is complicated though and requires a little bit of work on the technique. The first thing I want you to notice is the size of these kettlebells. These first three are Russian kettlebells and they are all a standard size. So a 50 kilo kettlebell would be the exact same size as a 4 kilo kettlebell. They have a standard size and that's the right height for deadlifting. Whereas you can buy these cheaper, smaller ones, or a lot of gyms have these smaller ones, and they don't have the same height. Now they can still be useful, but they're too low for doing a conventional deadlift for most people. There is a way of solving this problem by using some kind of thing to prop your kettlebell up on. You can make it the same height as the uniform Russian kettlebells. It's really important because if it's too low, it's going to mess up your deadlift technique and it's going to be really, really hard to get the right proportions. And later on, when you use standard barbells and standard plate sizes, you're going to be doing something a little bit higher up. You can literally use anything to do this. I use a little bit of flooring that I've got left over with trainees that need to use the smaller weights, and I don't have a uniform size kettlebell for them. Anyway, once you've sorted out the height that you're deadlifting from, you'll want to master the technique. Now, a conventional deadlift is more complicated than a Romanian deadlift, so I would try to master that movement first. I have a video, I'll link it in the description, and I also have a video that shows you the difference between a Romanian deadlift and a conventional deadlift. That's really, really important to understand as well. Anyway, back to the conventional deadlift. What you want to do is you want to set the kettlebell up in between your feet, and you want to make sure you're not on any cracks like I am, because that's bad luck. You want the handle of the kettlebell to go directly through the middle of your feet. Okay, so you don't want it in front of you and you don't want it too far behind you between your legs either. Handle right in the middle of your feet. Then what you're going to do, similar to the Romanian deadlift, you're going to stick your bum back and you're going to do a big hip hinge. In the conventional deadlift, you bend your knees a little bit further than the Romanian deadlift. You're going to grab the kettlebell handle. You want to make sure you get that nice straight back. Okay, so you don't want to have any rounding in the back, especially not in the lower back. And what you'll find if I show you from the side is that you're going to make a nice triangle between your arm, your back, and your legs, your thighs. So your shoulder is above your bum and your bum is above your knees. If you straighten your knees too much, you're going to break that triangle. You see how you get some sunlight between there? And if you bend your knees too much, you're also going to break the triangle and you're going to start going into a squat type movement. So if you get the balance just right, you're going to have your bum below your shoulders and you're going to be making a nice triangle with a little bit of daylight through the middle. Again, you want to make sure your back is nice and straight, and you also want to make sure your shoulders aren't hunched. You want to pull them back and down, pulling your shoulder blade into the opposite back pocket, in the opposite jean pocket. Okay, so it looks like this. So you engage your lats, which are the big muscles in your back. You want to try and squeeze a pencil in your armpit. From here, you're going to stand up and the weight goes directly up. And then you're going to put the weight back down in between your feet. Okay, so it looks like this. Stand up, hips forward, and then reach your bum back. Find that triangle again before you stand up to the next rep. Bum back, kettlebell between your feet. Make sure your back's nice and straight. Stand up again. Make sure you're not creeping down into a squat each time or creeping up into this position each time. You want to find that triangle every single time. You might even have contact between your hands and the inside of your knees. Okay, that's it. That is a conventional deadlift with a kettlebell. You can progress with this movement by using heavier kettlebells. Once you max out the heaviest kettlebell in your gym, which is usually around 32 kilos, you're going to want to learn how to do a barbell conventional deadlift, which is a little bit more complicated. So master the technique first with a kettlebell before you move on to the barbell deadlift.